I'll never forget the day I stumbled back into our village, covered in dirt and scratches, with a look of terror etched on my face. The villagers, who had given up hope of ever seeing me again, stared at me in shock and awe. Some of them whispered among themselves, "He's back, but is he still the same?" Others asked, "What happened to him in those woods?" I didn't answer them, not then. I couldn't. The memories were still too fresh, too painful. But now, after all these years, I'm ready to tell my story. I grew up in a small village surrounded by dense, dark woods. Our village was a happy place, filled with laughter and love. But there was one thing that cast a shadow over our lives: the woods. Rumors had circulated for as long as anyone could remember about kids who had ventured into the woods and never returned. Some said they were taken by the Mami Wata, a mythical creature from our ancestors' stories. Others claimed they were driven mad by the wood's dark magic. I never believed those stories. I was a curious kid, always eager to explore and discover new things. So, when I turned 12, I decided to venture into the woods with my friends, Tomi and Kwame. We were determined to uncover the secrets of the woods and prove that the rumors were just that: rumors. As we walked deeper into the woods, the trees seemed to grow taller, and the air grew thick with an eerie silence. We heard strange noises, like twigs snapping and leaves rustling, but whenever we turned to look, there was nothing there. The woods seemed to be playing tricks on us. After a while, Tomi and Kwame wanted to turn back, but I was determined to press on. I convinced them to follow me, and we continued deeper into the woods. That's when things started to go terribly wrong. We stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin, and I, being the curious one, decided to explore it. Tomi and Kwame waited outside, but as I ventured further into the cabin, I realized that I was alone. Tomi and Kwame were nowhere to be found. I frantically searched the cabin and the surrounding area, but there was no sign of my friends. I called out their names, but the only response was the echo of my own voice. Panic set in, as I realized that I was truly alone in the woods. As night began to fall, I curled up in a ball, shivering with fear and uncertainty. I had no idea what had happened to Tomi and Kwame, or what would happen to me. The woods seemed to be closing in around me, and I felt like I was being watched by unseen eyes. Suddenly, I heard a faint whispering in my ear. It was a soft, raspy voice that seemed to be speaking in a language I couldn't understand. I spun around, but there was no one there. The voice seemed to be coming from all around me, echoing off the trees. I knew then that I was in the presence of the Mami Wata, the mythical creature from our ancestors' stories. She was said to be a seductress, luring men and children into the woods with her enchanting voice and beauty. I tried to run, but my legs felt heavy, as if they were rooted to the spot. The Mami Wata began to laugh, a low, throaty sound that sent shivers down my spine. I knew then that I was doomed, but somehow I managed to break free from the Mami Wata's spell. I turned and ran, not stopping until I stumbled out of the woods and back into our village. I never saw Tomi and Kwame again. Some say they're still trapped in the woods, forever under the Mami Wata's spell. Others claim that they were taken by the Enkisi, a malevolent spirit that roams the woods. I don't know what happened to them, but I do know that I was lucky to escape. The woods are a place of darkness and terror, and I'll never set foot in them again. Even now, as an adult, I still hear the Mami Wata's whispering voice in my ear, tempting me to return to the woods. But I know better. I know that the woods are a place of unspeakable horrors, and I'll do everything in my power to avoid them.